Alright guys, I know it's been a few weeks since my last video, so I thought I wanted to give you a quick update before I bring part 2 of the product research video, which is going to come next Friday hopefully. So what have I been up to for the last few weeks? I'm going to go through that and just fill you in what I've been up to. So firstly, Amazon closed my listing, which I'm going to come to later on in the video, explain what happened and how I resolved that. I also moved house, which explains the new lovely scenery we've got. Currently in a second bedroom of an apartment. Basically we renovated our last house, which is quite a big kind of 4-bedroom house, and then we sold that, so we've moved into temporary accommodation. So we're currently in a 2-bedroom flat, so we've got a lot of stuff crammed in, hence everything stacked up behind me. So that's what I've mainly been doing the last week or two, moving house. I had multiple delivery delays with my batch of 1,000 products for my the product that went out of stock, which I'm going to show you as well. So like I say, the product went out of stock, which I was trying to avoid. I'm going to get onto that in more detail in a second. Then had to relaunch the product. Black Friday preparations, of course, which I didn't think was actually going to happen up till a week or so ago, because my products weren't even in the country a week ago. And finally discovered some surprise FBA fees, which I probably should have been aware of, but wasn't. But wanted to share with you guys, because obviously, if they were a surprise to me, they'll probably be a surprise to a lot of people. So, before I kick things off though, let's do the giveaway that I've been promising from about a month ago. To enter the giveaway, all you need to do to win a 30-minute consultation call with me, or we can talk about FBA or anything else that you'd like to talk about. I say it's a 30-minute call, but it will probably be longer. You know, the last call that I did with Alex ended up being about 2 hours long, so you're guaranteed a minimum of 30 minutes with the consultation call. All you need to do to enter is comment between 1 and 500 and just put where you are on your FBA journey. That's all you need to do. So between 1 and 500, put it in the comments, and then where you are on your FBA journey. And then the winner will be announced in the next video, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you've got the notification bell turned on so that you can see if you are that winner. Okay, so that's the giveaway out of the way. Let's get into the details. So out of stock and delays. This has been the story of Amazon for me for the past few weeks. So I went out of stock very early November. If my shipment would have arrived on time, I would have stayed in stock. So you can imagine I was pretty frustrated. I wasn't very happy with my supplier and their freight forwarder, because I was using my supplier's freight forwarder this time. So I wasn't very happy with that. And actually we're currently negotiating some compensation for that at the moment. So as you can see there on the screenshot from the app is we went out of stock on November the 6th. And then we were out of stock for over 10 days. But thankfully have been able to relaunch okay just in time for today, Black Friday, to see if hopefully it will be worthwhile. You know, so far it's about 5 PM and I've only done 10 units, which, you know, is an average day, so I'm hoping this evening is going to continue to be busy. But anyway, let's come back to another time. So you can see I went out of stock. Now what happened was I had 500 units in total in that first batch, and I was down to about 10 left, I think, or 10 or 15 left. But once you get below, I think it's 20, Amazon start putting up a notice that says 19 left, order soon, 18 left, order soon. And as soon as that message appeared, my sales just slowed down so much. So what I decided to do was, rather than just relentlessly spending more on PPC trying to sell out these units, I just closed my listings then with a few left in stock, because it was just costing too much to try and sell them through for the sake of it, and also the ranks were dropping off and stuff like that. So I closed the listing. When I closed the listing, for most of my keywords I was ranked in the top kind of 5 to 10, and my bestseller rank was about 200 or 300, so it's pretty good in the category I was in. So I'll come back to what the ranks were once I relaunched in a moment. So delivery, I was quoted 10 to 12 days delivery, and it took 25 days. Now when you spent over £5,000 to air freight this from China to avoid this scenario, you can imagine the frustration that I felt with these delays. So what happened, the first delay, the products actually arrived in Germany, which I was frustrated about, because I told them air freight to the UK. So they said, oh no, we air freight to Germany because we were using that as a clearing house for the UK. So they air freighted it to Germany, and it arrived in Germany the 27th of October, and then it sat there for 2 weeks in German customs. And apparently that's not uncommon. Apparently German customs are very slow, especially this time of year, so that was annoying. And then when it finally got released from Germany, it was being delivered from Germany to Amazon by UPS. And once it got to the UPS warehouse in Tamworth in the UK, it then sat there for 3 days, and each day I got a notification from UPS saying that your shipment is being held until such time that Amazon tells us it can be delivered. So with UPS, it's not even a case they had to book a slot. They've got daily slots. Amazon was saying, like, our warehouse is full, we can't take your delivery. Now thankfully for me, it only took 2 or 3 days, but I've seen reports on forums, and also there's another YouTuber called Jansen Smith who does some really good stuff. His stuff was held up 2 or 3 weeks, so it's just something to be aware of, that sometimes Amazon will refuse your shipment and tell your delivery company like UPS to hold on to it for a while. And then when it finally got to the fulfillment centre, thankfully for mine it was processed within 48 hours, but again, other people are reporting anything up to 1 to 2 weeks for products to be processed. So you can imagine that your product could arrive and could be sitting in the UPS warehouse outside Amazon, and then it could take 2 to 4 weeks for it to actually, 1, be delivered to Amazon, and then 2, to be processed by the fulfillment centre. So next year I'll definitely bear that in mind when trying to stock up for Christmas and during busy periods. So yeah, finally my stock arrived this Sunday just gone, so I knew I had basically 5 days to try and relaunch the product. So straight away put the PPC on, fired up the Facebook ads as well, to try and get the product relaunched. And as you can see the graph, you know, I relaunched 2 or 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and I was able to shift 10 units on that Sunday, which got me back off to a flying start. So the product relaunch, like I was just saying, was Amazon ads, Facebook ads, and I reduced the price slightly. I'm not talking much, like I reduced it I think £1, just £1, because it just gives me that little edge to help with the relaunch. I've put the price back up now, and you can see this is a graph from Helium 10, and this shows the ranking of my main keyword. So before I went out of stock, I was regularly ranked 6th, which was, you know, it's a great position for me, converted really well. Then I closed the listing. When I relaunched, I dropped down to the bottom of page 1. Some of my other keywords I dropped onto page 2, but you can see it took 3-4 days and then bang, back into the same position. So it wasn't as scary as I thought. I thought the relaunch might take a lot longer, and I really thought I was going to completely miss out on the Black Friday and over the weekend and the next week or 2, but hopefully I'm now in a position to capitalise on these busy periods. So yeah, my fears for going out of stock have kind of dissipated from now. You know, if a product goes out of stock in future, I'll just close it with the confidence I can relaunch quickly with PPC and a slight price reduction. And yeah, during this process, once I relaunched, I've been setting up for Black Friday. So in order to sell the product on Black Friday, I wanted to have some sort of promotion on the product. So I was looking at using coupons, or vouchers as we call them in the UK. Now I didn't know that, but Amazon like to charge for vouchers, so I'll show you that in a second. And also I was looking through my fees, and I'd been hit with a monthly storage fee. Now I didn't know there's monthly storage fees, probably should have known that. I only thought there was long-term storage fees after 6 months, so I got hit with a monthly storage fee, which wasn't too bad because I only actually had a couple of products left in stock at that time, so it wasn't too bad. But I can imagine if I had 1,000 in stock like I have at the moment, and with Q4 being more expensive for storage fees, it would have been very expensive. So just to give you an idea, from January to September they charge 65p per cubic foot per month, and then in October to December they basically 50% more near enough they charge in. So if you've got stock stored in their warehouse around the Christmas period and Q4, just be aware that those storage fees might be quite high. And then obviously once you've been in stock for 6 months, which hopefully we're all going to avoid have stock sat around for 6 months, there'll be long-term storage fees as well. And this is the screenshots taken directly from Seller Central. You can see there for each coupon or each voucher that I get redeemed for Black Friday and over the next few days, that's going to cost me 45p. So on top of all of the other Amazon fees, they want another 45p per voucher. So yes, surprise FBA fees. Yeah, hopefully you can avoid them, or at least plan for them when you start launching your products. Yeah, so going back to the title of this video, you know, it's nice and clickbaity. Amazon closed my listing. What actually happened? Well, the good news was this happened when I was out of stock. I did crap myself when it happened. I saw the email, I thought, oh my god, I've got 1,000 of these coming in and Amazon have closed my listing. But if you read through the email, obviously I've blacked out the core details. It says, dear seller, your Amazon listing has been closed due to negative customer experience of 6%. So what they're referring to is the amount of refunds the return rate I had. Now, my return rate was really good. I sold, actually let me show you there. Amazon is saying of 174 units I sold, I had 10 returns, and they say my defect rate is 6%. Now what actually happened is I sold 485 units and I had 12 returns. So my actual return rate was 2%, but Amazon has already had a particular sample size that they've taken and ignored the rest of the batch and just said your return rate is 6%. So I was like, come on, really? You know, I thought I had a fantastic return rate, to be honest. You know, having a 2% return rate is really good on Amazon. So and you can see some of the comments. So now my product is dependent on it fitting correctly. Now I'm on my listing, in my bullet points, and my second main photo has all the measurements on there. Now, so most of my returns are from people who just don't read the listing. So you can see here some of these comments that, you know, it's not a good fit. Well, read the measurements. My wife and I ordered 2 and realised that we only needed 1. So they returned 1, but for Amazon apparently that's a negative customer experience and they closed my listing. Another one, product too small for use and didn't seem to fit well. Again, the measurements couldn't be clearer. So Amazon provides you a link which if you follow, it allows you to basically re-enable your listing straight away. So all I had to do was complete a form and say, what have I done? Well, I said to him, well, I put my measurements in my title now to make them even more visible. And at the time, my measurements were on my 4th picture. So I said I've moved my 4th picture to my 2nd picture. And the listing was kind of instantly reactivated. So don't be worried if you get one of these emails. I looked about when it came in. It's very, very common. It's just got automated systems coming in. But yeah, it's pretty scary when you've got so much invested to see these type of emails coming through. And I think it just goes to show, if you go on the forums, you see this and other people's stories, you can't be 100% reliant on Amazon because their systems and their algorithms. I got off quite lightly of just this. I see so many people having their accounts suspended and closed, and then they seem to have no recourse to kind of actually get them reactivated. So if you are getting into Amazon, make sure you've got a second income stream that you can, you're not 100% reliant on Amazon. I'm not going to be 100% reliant on Amazon at any stage. I'm always going to make sure I've got other income streams because for things like this, it's stupid really. This happens to people. So yeah, that's it. That's my update for now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. The next video is part 2 of the product research tutorial. I know a lot of people have been asking me when that is coming. And also there's my email address. Quite a few people reach out and ask me questions, and I try and offer feedback where possible. So feel free to drop me an email if you've got any questions, or if you want me to look cast my over any figures or any product ideas, just drop them in the email, and I'll try and get that product research tutorial video out next Friday.